like 10, and most of them are myself and my mother.
Usually,
Okay.
hear all the comments and jokes you make, and I might actually get you.
Yeah, I don't think so. Okay, here we go. Today's lesson is called more frequent compounding periods. Okay, up until this point, every example we've done said they gave the interest once a year. Okay, we're going to say here, in real life, money is compounded more frequently than once per year. Okay, so in all these questions at banks, you know, the voucher house goes up 5.1% per year and all that sort of stuff. In here, in these, in real life, it doesn't happen. Does anyone here have a savings account? Good. When do you get your statement from the bank? How often? I know, but how, I don't know here. How much? Once a day? Once a year? No. How many have interest in your savings account? Let's try that. Once a month, okay? Generally what happens is for savings account.
Mine's all online, so I can look whenever I want.
So what they'll do, at least for my savings account, what they'll do is I don't get a paper statement either, mine's online too. But what'll happen is December 1st, I'll get interest 83 cents or whatever I happen to get for interest. Okay, that happens monthly. So instead of giving me my interest in January, like every year, right, it's going to do that. I don't know how often credit cards charge interest. Well, not every purchase, okay?
Oh, everybody.
No, this happens daily. Every single day you get charged interest. Now, this will happen under thought. Yes, it is. Okay, this is why credit cards are bad. But what happens for credit cards? You get a 30-day grace period. So let's say I go to the store tonight and I buy myself $50 worth of gas for my invisible car. Okay. I don't get charged interest on that until 30 days after I use it. You know what I mean? So 30 days I get to pay free. So, but after that, you get charged interest every day. Let's say it takes me 32 days to pay it off. I get charged 2 days of interest.
How much
is it? Basically, the way it works is 19%. What we'll say for this, my credit card is about, I think it's 19.9% compounded daily. And this is where I'm talking about the compounding periods, okay? Because that's 19.9% over the whole year. So what you do is to find your daily rate. How would you find your daily rate? Very good. The daily rate of interest would be 0.199 divided by 365. Right? And that would be how much you're charged every single day. Right? Okay. That would be what you charge every day. And that's what we're getting into. Okay. So in order to solve these problems, number one, we are going to divide the interest rate. And number two, we're going to multiply the time. Okay, so what's going to happen is, let's say for my credit card, if I don't pay for a year, it's going to be charging me 19.9% divided by 365 every day, and it's going to charge me 365 times. Okay, because every day I'm going to get 365 of the interest. If that makes any sense. Now the reason that works for banks is because remember compounding. Every day it's going to get charged a little bit more sort of last. So if you remember yesterday's lesson talking about the hockey card that went $10 during the first day, then $11, then $12.21. When it kept on increasing. Yes. No comment? Yes. Okay. So the idea is the same thing happens with your MasterCard. If you don't pay your bill, again, it's going to keep going up. That's the idea. This happens for houses, for mortgages. That's why, for instance, if you're buying a house and you have a $200,000 mortgage, you get charged $200,000. If you pay off $5,000, then you only get charged for $195,000. Right? So as time goes on, you pay quicker, you pay off more. We'll talk about loans in a few days. Okay, so these are the most common that we're going to use in this course. Okay, if I say annually, if I say that something happens annually, how many times per year is that going to be? Just one. Okay. If I say semi-annually, if I say there's a semi-annual sale, what does that mean, semi-annually? How many times a year? Every 6 months, so twice a year. Now this is sort of a joke I put in here, because every time I go to the mall, which isn't that often, they're having a semi-annual sale at events that I go to. Now, if it happens all the time, okay, but that's what happens. Next, other ones I tend to use is quarterly. How many times a year will quarterly be? If you guess. Quarterly makes sense to be 4. That's a quarter, 1 quarter. The other ones that I'm going to use are monthly. If I say something compounds monthly, how many times a year will that happen? 12 times, very good. If I say weekly, how many times will that happen? 52. And daily is how often? Well, there's 365. Now, technically, it's 365 and a quarter if you're a scientist, okay, right? But for accountants, they use 365. They ignore that last bit. If you forget any of these numbers, you can ask me on your test. Because during a test, people will freak out, and they'll tell me there's 48 weeks in a year. And I don't guess why they're telling me there's 48 weeks in a year. Well, they are wrong. Okay, but what happens? No. What happens is really they're in the zone for their math test. They say, well, there's 4 weeks in a month, 12 months in a year, so there's 48. I get 48 so often for weeks. Okay, so if you're having a brain freeze and you just say how many weeks in a year. All right, let's get on to an example here. Okay, this is the very same stuff we did before. Okay, that's what we put last today. Example 1 says, we shall be. I know it's next, I'm going to say in 2 years. So if she goes to university in 2 years, if she stays 4,000 today at 8% compounded monthly, how much will she have? Okay. Every question that we do from now on out will have a compounded. It'll very, very rarely say compounded. Okay, everything will be. So what that says is 8% compounded monthly means it's 8% over the whole year. It's being charged every month. So one more time, Shelby's going to university in 2 years. If she saves $4,000 today, 8% compounded monthly, how much will she have? I know 3 brain people with broad shoulders to try and figure out, give me some information here. Go ahead. P is 4,000. So I'm going to write this again here. All right, A equals P1 plus sign again. P is going to be 4,000. Very good. So you're starting with 4 grand. Okay. Cody, go ahead.
I is 0.08.
Close. I is 0.08. What do I have to do to the 0.08 though? Divide by what? Divide by what? No. Divide by 12. Why? That's right. Why did you divide by 12? Because it's monthly. The key word in this question, right, is compounded monthly. Right. So it's nothing but 8% over the whole year. Every month, it's only 1/12. You can leave that as a fraction if you want for your calculator, but if you're able to do it like this, please do so. Now, please note you cannot round. If you tell me it's just 0.006, that's only 7.2%. Right? Or if you're saying it's 0.007, that's 8.4%. Right? So that's making a big difference on the. You cannot round that number. Does that make sense? If you want to leave a fraction, you need to leave a fraction. N. What do I do for N, please? Sorry. 2 is your year, good. But I also times this by 12. Because it's 2 years, but because you're doing it 12 times per year, it's going to happen 24 times. Yeah? Yeah. Okay. So again, it's 8%, right, over the year, but we're dividing by 12, it's happening 12 times. It's 2 years, but we're doing it 12 times years. Does that sound okay? Sound good? No comments? Move on. Good. All right, lovely. So let's do some calculations now, if we could. And go to the next board. Can somebody tell me what to write? All right, go ahead. Yeah. Very good. Okay, no one here has complained yet, and there should be somebody complaining. Did anyone do 0.08 divided by 12 to get a weird number? Is everyone just trying to do 0.08 divided by 12 for me and trying to get a weird number? If you get 0.00666, that's fine. No one got 6.666 times 10 to the negative 3. Nobody got that? Okay, if you get that, it's probably going to be these two, of course, to get it. I'm not there for that, okay? But if you just add 1 to get that number. Can I get a brave soul named Shelby, since this is your question? Type it into your calculator and tell me again.
I got 4, 5.
Can I get someone to confirm that for me, please? That is confirmed, Tyler? Yes. And we'll say, therefore, Shelby will have 4691.56. I'll pause it right there, and we'll come back.